They're a better team without him. I'm sorry. Sorry, fanboys.
The Memphis Grizzlies are off to a lamentable season, okay? Right now, you can get out your ashes and go into the street if you're a Grizzly fan and just start lamenting, okay? Just start crying, just start weeping because you won't make the playoffs. Ja Morant will miss 25 games this season. And right now, the Grizzlies record is 1-7 at the time of recording this video. It's looking real ugly for the Grizzlies right now. And last season, Ja Morant, he had all the off-court issues going on. You had the Dylan Brooks stuff going on. But Ja Morant didn't make the All-NBA team, which I thought he should have made the All-NBA team, right? I think he should have made the All-NBA team, in my opinion. But this season, he won't make it either because he will miss 25 games. He comes back. We know maybe injuries here, miss a couple games here. The dude won't make the All-NBA team, and he will miss out on a lot of money he did last season, and he won't make the All-NBA team this season. That sucks for him. But the Grizzlies will miss him for 25 games. We know that. So going into this season, you lose Dylan Brooks, you lose Tyus Jones, you get Derrick Rose, and you get Marcus Smart. And Derrick Rose is a guy who can put the ball in the basket, okay? He can give you 18, 19 points a night. Marcus Smart, the defensive player of the year, not too long ago, right? And Jaren Jackson was just the defensive player of the year last year. So I'm thinking this should be a net positive for the Grizzlies, and they should be even better on the defensive end because we know the talks last season, right? In the season before last, Ja Morant, he's the reason why this team is not that good on the defensive end. When he missed games, they play better on the defensive end. The defensive rating is up when Ja doesn't play. But look at the Grizzlies now. Look at the Grizzlies now. An abysmal record of 1-7. I know it's early. This is not a large sample size, but the rate that they're going right now, I can see them being, 5-20 when Ja Morant returns. So if they're 5-20 when Ja Morant returns, we know this team won't make the postseason this year in the tough, extremely tough Western Conference, which sucks for them. But the Grizzlies, what are y'all doing? Okay, I expected more. I expected more from the Grizzlies. I really, truly did, especially adding Marcus Smart with Jaren Jackson. You got Derrick Rose. Desmond Bane made a huge leap, signed a huge contract, right? And I'm expecting him to become maybe an all-star or a solid two guy or a solid third option, but in this situation, the second guy on the team who can pick it up. And he has picked it up this season. Of course, his averages are up 25 points per game he's averaging now. So he's playing good on offensive end, but it's not translating to wins on the court at all. Not by a long stretch, okay? So far out from winning games, closing games out, and it sucks for the Grizzlies. And I want to get to this point right here, okay? This point right here, because last season is when the conversation started, right? Last year, no Ja Morant, 33-17 without Ja. 50 games, that's a large sample size to say, okay, this team is good enough to win, or this team is better, quote unquote, better without Ja Morant. The same discussion happened in 2018 with Kyrie Irving when he played with the Boston Celtics. Kyrie, let's not forget, helped this team go on a 20-game winning streak. Okay, he gets hurt. The confidence is still there because Kyrie did what? Helped them and led them on a 20-game winning streak. The confidence was there, and that team makes it to the Eastern Conference Finals. And they say, you know what? This team is better without Kyrie Irving. This is a similar situation for Ja Morant, but the Grizzlies aren't actually winning without Ja Morant. Not in the lineup at all. And this conversation, like I said, started especially after game 2, after they beat my Lakers without Ja Morant. And everybody came to the conclusion and said, and start saying stuff like this, okay? You start hearing rumblings and discussions like this even before they beat the Lakers in game 2. You heard stuff like this right here. This, let me play it, please.
Two different things. If you look at the last 2 seasons, including the playoffs, the Grizzlies statistically, with John, without him, they win a little more. They're much better defensively. Their net rating is double. They're a better team without him. I'm sorry. Sorry, fanboys. They are. That's why Atlanta's thinking of trading Trae Young. When you let 19-year-olds come into a sport, they're not emotionally ready, and they're not great basketball players. They're great shooters or great scorers. But Ja Morant's a highlight phenom. He's absolutely athletic. He's a blast to watch. He's not a great basketball player overall. He's a great scorer. This is not a small sample size. It's 50 games. And they're better defensively. They're better offensively slightly. They move the ball better. Listen, when Tim Duncan or Michael...
So are we going to keep the same narrative at play here without Ja Morant? No Ja Morant now, okay? I want the same people to come to these conclusions and say that Ja Morant is a non-factor, okay? We don't need him because they don't have him now. And what's the record? 1-7. 1-7. I think people tend to forget that you're playing with a guy. He's giving you a ton of confidence. He's creating most of the shots that Desmond Bane is making and attempting. The defense is focused on Ja Morant alone, creating more opportunities for his teammates, giving them confidence. So when he's out the lineup, the confidence is still there and they are able to continue to win games without him in the lineup because he was in the lineup before. And in my opinion, he established and helped them and gave them the confidence they needed when he was on the court with them. So when you take him off, now he's ready to go because they are already in a flow. Okay, he's missing 1 game here, 2 games here. We can pick it up. We can go. But going into a season knowing that your best player will not be available for 25 games is a different scenario, right? It is. In my opinion, it's a different scenario. And we see them not being able to win games without Ja Morant. So are we going to apologize to Ja and say, Ja, we're sorry. Okay, we're sorry, Ja. We said this team was better without you. But we were all wrong. We were wrong. This team is not better without Ja Morant. Ja Morant just played and gave this team confidence, gave Desmond Bane confidence, and the confidence carried over when he missed 1 or 2 games here. But going into a season with 25 games on the slate, he won't be available for. It's a different game plan, okay? It's a different game plan, and you can't close out games. But we want to continue to ridicule Ja Morant because of his off-court mistakes, okay? Off-the-court antics, guns, and all this nonsense that he was doing last season. Right, it was nonsense. It was stupid, okay? It was stupid what he was doing. Didn't make sense, okay? Right, we know that. But let's not penalize his play and undermine the player that he is. He is a great player. He's a great player, and he's the reason why that team had success. He's the reason why the Grizzlies tickets, the lowest price wasn't $4 as they are now, okay? He's the reason. But we like to, demean him and say, hey, he's not that huge of a factor. I mean, he's a great player, but he's a great scorer, but is he a great basketball player? He is. And we can clearly see that. Without him, this team has no shot at making the playoffs, let alone winning a playoff series. So they need Ja Morant, and everybody needs to give Ja Morant an apology, okay? Everybody needs to give Ja Morant an apology just because his off-the-court antics, okay, was abysmal, ugly, okay? A stain on his image as a person. But as a basketball player, can we give him the credit he deserves and say, hey, this dude is a phenomenal basketball player. He's the reason why the Grizzlies are so good. He's the one that makes this franchise go. He's the one that gives the confidence to his teammates. Can we give Ja Morant some type of credit instead of discrediting everything that he has done for this Grizzlies organization so far? Hey, give credit when credit is due. Okay, he can do this stupid stuff off the court. That's true. It's stupid. It's wrong. But when he's on the court, he's effective, and he's the reason why they win. Because he's setting teammates up. He's getting into the paint constantly, getting paint touches, kicking it out to shooters. The defense is focused on him, opening up more space for Bane and Jaren Jackson to operate and to get little buckets here and there. But once you eliminate Ja Morant, take him out of the equation, you won't have a chance. You won't even have a fighting chance, and this is a clear example of it. So can we please stop disrespecting Ja Morant and give him the respect that he deserves as a basketball player? That's why I believe he should have been an All-NBA player last season. But no, he can't be an All-NBA player. You know why? Because his off-the-court issues. No, I don't think that should play a huge role in determining if someone is an All-NBA player. He is. He's the reason. We can clearly see it now. I hope the smoke has cleared out. And we can clearly see that this Grizzly team really, 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 really needs Ja Morant quickly. Because if they don't, this team, like I said, I think I can see them going 5-20 and not making the playoffs this season because of Ja Morant. And then we got people like Stephen A. Smith blaming Ja Morant for this. I can see where the blame could come from. Okay, I can see doing stupid stuff off the court, you knowing that, hey, if I do this stuff, I can get suspended. But no, you guys in the media propped this Memphis Grizzly team up and gave them this type of, aura about being better without Ja. And you got what you wanted, right? You got what you wanted. You wanted to see this team without Ja Morant. And we're clearly seeing this team without Ja Morant for the first 25 games. Let's see how many games they can win. Let's see if they can get in the playoff picture. Let's see if they can get in the top 10 in the West. Let's wait and see. But I hope you apologize to Ja Morant and say, hey, dude, I'm sorry. I apologize. You are the main factor for this team. You were the main factor when it came to winning. You were the guy that kept this franchise going over the past 3 years. We discredit all of that because of some stupid things you did off the court. I don't think we should do that, right? People make mistakes. People can be forgiven, and people can change their lives and for the better. It can happen. But to just discredit Ja Morant as a whole, as a player, and just look down on him and say, yeah, dude, you are good, but this team doesn't really need you. And now we can clearly see this team needs him, and they need him quick. Until next time, guys, peace. Make sure you give Ja Morant his apologies, okay? Do it for me.